Jayson-Lee Collins.
Craig, how's it?
Always great to have you at the round table.
Thank you.
So we are heading towards, which most would deem to be the great auction platform, the biggest auction of the year in November. And I see you have almost 34 properties on the platform.
Yeah.
And the two that we're shouting out about are the offering from Netcare.
Yes, correct.
And so just tell us very briefly what this offering is, because I see there are two hospitals in Alberton, and there's a potential conversion opportunity with that as well. So
So we struck gold here. We've got two properties that don't come to market often. We've got the Clinton and the Union, two Netcare properties. We've got the Union, the bigger brother, I like to say, 12,000 squares under roof, about 350 parking bays. Fantastic property for a resi developer, storage developer, or institution even to come in for schooling, campus, something like that. 5 minutes down the road, you could probably walk there. We have the Clinton, which ties hand in hand. Very similar features, compartmentalized, very much the same play. Resi conversion, storage, or institution.
And of course, one would argue why Netcare would be offsetting these two prime assets, but I noticed that they've built a new clinic, which is not too far away.
Correct.
So in essence, it would be attractive for any developer to redevelop both sites, because they're right next to that main Alberton interchange.
They go hand in hand, whether you're doing it via schooling, institution, if you're doing it as a campus, you've got two parts there that you can link for a business sector or for any educational, even residential. You've got two aspects there. It's going to bring the area back. You're right, Netcare just put that bigger hospital. That's Union's bigger brother. They put that hospital down the road where they've kind of consolidated the two hospitals into one. So
the traffic is just crazy, that part of town, right?
Correct.
Okay, and I mean, for anybody to acquire these assets, I mean, they're going to get these assets. I mean, I hate saying this, but they're really going to get value here. I mean, because there's an existing infrastructure. I know it was built for a hospital.
Yes.
And so the people that we're talking to are people that we want to come in and obviously redevelop to sectional title residential, right? Are there any other potential prospects in that market of people that we're looking for?
Yeah, there is. I mean, it makes sense for anyone who can utilize and unlock the value, really, to be honest. I mean, like you say, it's built up there. You need to have an out-of-the-box thinking, a creative thinking, look at it. What can we, with not too much work, it's going to require a lot of cash flow and outlay to convert, but how can we make it work?
It.
Yes,
I mean,
exactly.
to rebuild this.
No, it will cost you a fortune.
It will cost you a fortune. So in my previous conversations with Netcare, such they were not susceptible to managing if, in the event a buyer came along or an investor came along that did want to put a white labeled clinic together, they were kind of open at that point equally to manage the asset and be the management company. Is that still on the table?
It's on the table. We do have restrictive conditions to healthcare and medical and things like that, but there is the potential to waiver. So as per whether you're buying a garage, obviously you don't want your competitor right next to you, but they are willing to look at all offers and to waiver the restrictive conditions. That forms part of the negotiations.
That's unbelievable. So there are two potential clinics which are offered as residential redevelopment opportunities. They're not far apart from each other. They're in this almost this medical node, because I think to talk about the power of Netcare with the two clinics prior to the build of the new clinic, which is the unbelievable infrastructure, which is not far from there, the new one, it just proves that the brand itself has just attracted a huge medical fraternity.
Yes,
and the people right around.
Well, that's it. The surroundings are medical. You've got dentists, you've got labs, pathology. It's perfectly suited for it. But that's why the residential place is so attractive, because you've got all your amenities. Right next to the Union, you've got a huge shopping centre.
I was just thinking, no one has ever done this in my time. But can you imagine creating a clinic, a retail clinic? So it's not a clinic, but like a retail centre out of the clinic.
Yeah.
So you actually, I mean, if you think about it, if you look at the node in the area, I mean, you have podiatry, you have different therapies, but what would happen if you converted the hospital as an option, just to bring some innovation to the table, and you created almost like a mall?
Yeah.
Of service providers. So it's not under the clinic anymore, but it's kind of that node, that hub.
Yeah. Great idea.
I mean, you know,
Great
that could be an interesting play as well. I mean, everybody's talking innovation, but you are dead set on that residential.
Wouldn't say dead set. I'd say it makes the most sense. Union has residential rights. It has residential zoning. Both have special zoning. It just makes sense for residential developers to get their hands on you. You don't get these kind of assets well, and the yields are there for residential players. Right. Storage as well, but storage. The reason why it's attracted to storage is it's got the theaters, and it's compartmentalized. It's got different units for. It's perfect for storage. But residential, for me, it makes sense all day long for a residential player.
And of course, because of the hospital, I go back to the new Netcare hospital. I mean, it's attracted hundreds and hundreds of people.
Yes.
So it's a great opportunity to create residence.
Yes.
In the node.
Correct.
You see, so it just goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
And of course, Alberton has become quite a great metropolis as well.
It is, yes.
It is a retail hub. I remember, I think they've still got Macro in the world of Alberton. I did a lot of work there. And all the retail brands are out there. But I mean, it's just in that interchange.
Yeah. And the residential play will bring life back to the area. You know, New Redruth, it's kind of, it went through a bit of a slump. It's kind of a dying town. It needs something like this to bring the whole town back, bring value back to those properties.
It needs something to stand out.
Stand out and attract.
So let me ask you this. I mean, you can't give me this information, but what should buyers expect when they come to auction? I mean, what type of percentage of value? Is it something we can talk? I know you've got a lot of response, but I mean, if I'm asking 100 Rand, could we be looking at 60% of value, or 50, or 40?
Look, what I can say is whatever we get on auction day, they will seriously consider. I don't want to get values, but guys know the value there. You need to put the numbers where it works for you, and you need to come on auction. It's hard to say, how do you value an asset like this? You can't. The only way you can value an asset like this is by having the campaign and finding the buy in the market. The buyers will tell you what the value of the property is, you know.
So you want to attract a potential developer that can design a product around the current infrastructure that can defy market condition.
Correct.
And the only way for that to happen is to be innovative.
Yes.
And to be creative.
Yeah.
Because number one, you've got the traffic. Interesting. The area's got the traffic. There's massive traffic. So whatever you do, you want. Secondly, you want a node. There is a node. There's a huge business node in that area.
Yeah.
Thirdly, people are, I believe, looking for residence. And I think if you package the residency in the right way, you bring value across, it could be something that the developer could sell out pretty quickly.
And you know it'll work. And you know how I know it'll work is from the interest we've had from the campaign.
Well, you see,
we've got now about 15 real buyers, guys we deal with, guys we know, looking to put offers on it. So you know that the opportunity doesn't come around there. The demand's there. The supply's not there. So guys have to get their hands on it.
Okay, and again, this word innovation. I mean, what do you find today in a hub? I mean, you're never going to find a piece of land in a busy hub, right?
Yeah.
That you're never going to find.
Yeah.
So you're going to, it's interesting. If you found a piece of land, you'd probably pay more for the land.
Correct. Yeah, you would.
You pay more for the land in the right position. This is the right position, and there's a current structure.
Yeah.
Yes, there's going to be a makeover required.
Yeah.
But it really is about the innovative mind and the thinker that comes along to the platform.
And you're not talking about small pieces of land. Yeah, take away the 12,000 and 9,000 meter squared of GLA. You've got 5,000 squares on the on Union, and you've got over a hectare on Clinton worth of just land. You know what I'm saying? So that land holds value in itself.
Unbelievable. Well, Jason, I know that this is going to be a star attraction for November, and I can see you fending calls day and night on these two assets. And so, ladies and gentlemen, this is an opportunity for you to engage, embrace. Property is absolutely top of the agenda around this table, and I am delighted to say that the November period is our peak auction period.
Yes.
We're going to have a lot of people coming to this auction on the 23rd of November, which is in literally 2 weeks' time. time. And so I encourage you to contact Jayson-Lee Collins, and his number will appear behind me, and connect with him on this. He'll submit the pack through to you. But what a grand opportunity, Jason. Thank you for bringing it to our roundtable.
Guys, mustn't be afraid to get involved. That's all I can say. Don't be afraid to get involved. I'll guide you through the process. We have to pre-register all our guides for these lots because they're so unique and specialized. So get involved. I really do encourage all developers and investors to get involved.
And someone once told me, an old colleague of mine, she said, the only time you're in this business is when you start writing.
Yes.
So never be afraid. If you have an idea and a thought, let's put it down. Anything's possible in this business, and your dreams could come true. 100%. Thank you, Jason.
Thank you, Craig. Thank you.